Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our seventh lesson in our series about narrative stories. Today, we're going to be talking about the climax. So, first, we're going to talk about what is the climax. Then, we're going to learn how to recognize the climax. And lastly, we'll see an example of one. So, the climax. It's the most exciting part of the story and it's the turning point of your story. We've already talked about the setting, the characters, and the problem. Now, this is the moment where everything changes. So, the climax is number one, the most important or emotional moment in your story. Number two, when the main problem reaches its highest point or most extreme point. Number three, when the character makes a big choice, takes a risk, or learns something. So, something shifts in the character. Number four, it is the moment that the reader has been waiting for. Your entire story builds up to this point. It is the highest point on the mountain. It is the peak of the mountain of your story. So, to recognize a climax, we want to ask ourselves some questions. Well, so, first, we want to ask ourselves, what is the most powerful moment in the story? What does my character finally do or decide? So, what changes? And then how does the story start to change direction after this? Again, this is the moment that changes everything. So we're just going to look at an example because this is something that is a lot easier to understand if we can just see an example. So let's remember Leo. Leo is shy and wants to make a friend but is afraid to talk to anyone. Shy, remember, is a characteristic of him. It is describing the character. Afraid to talk to anyone is his problem. In the middle, he tried small things, like sitting near his classmates, opening his book, and working in a lab with a partner. Here is our climax. On Friday, during science class, Leo saw Amir working on the poster by himself. The room was buzzing with noise, but Leo felt frozen in place. His hands were sweating and his heart was pounding. Do you want help? He finally asked. Amir looked up and smiled. Sure. Something changed here, and that is that Leo asked for help. He stepped out of his comfort zone and went away from that fear and instead did something different. So remember, this is the turning point. Leo faces his fears, takes a risk, and it changes the direction of a story because now he's making a friend. And another thing to remember is that Leo's story uses dialogue in its turning point. Dialogue is a great tool to help show the relationships between characters, and it can make your middle or your climax or really any part of your story powerful. So, thank you all for listening. We're finally writing the big moment. So, you have an assignment on Google Classroom called The Climax, and I look forward to reading your work as always. Thank you all for listening.